They told me love has rules. They told me love has conditions. They told me love checks your birth certificate before it enters your heart. But you know what? Nobody told my heart. Nobody told my heartbeat. Nobody told the tears that fall from my eyes every time I think about you, that you are too old for me. So today I stand here not to defend my love, but to celebrate it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lovers and dreamers, let me ask you a simple question. When you were born, did anyone ask you, which year do you want to be born in? No. Did anyone give you a form that said, choose your age, so that someday someone will love you perfectly? No. Then why does this world expect love to follow a calendar? Why does this world expect two hearts to match their dates before they match their souls? Hook, the world gave me a calculator, but God gave me a heart, and I chose to follow the one that beats, not the one that counts. You see, when I first met this person, this beautiful, incredible, extraordinary human being, I didn't see a number, I didn't see wrinkles, I didn't see gray hair, I didn't see an age gap. You know what I saw? I saw home. I saw peace. I saw a pair of eyes that looked at me like I was the only person in the entire universe who mattered. And you want me to walk away from that because of a number? Let me tell you something that nobody wants to hear. Age is nothing but a measurement of time. It measures how long you've been breathing, but it does not measure how deeply you can love. It does not measure how beautifully you can care. It does not measure the warmth in someone's hands when they hold yours on. A cold night, Hook, they measure the gap between our ages, but they forgot to measure the gap between their minds and their hearts. They told me love has rules. They told me love has conditions. They told me love checks your birth certificate before it enters your heart. But you know what? Nobody told my heart. Nobody told my heartbeat. Nobody told the tears that fall from my eyes every time I think about you, that you are too old for me. So today, I stand here not to defend my love, but to celebrate it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lovers and dreamers, let me ask you a simple question. When you were born, did anyone ask you, which year do you want to be born in? No. Did anyone give you a form that said, choose your age, so that someday someone will love you perfectly? No. Then why does this world expect love to follow a calendar? Why does this world expect two hearts to match their dates before they match their souls? Hook, the world gave me a calculator, but God gave me a heart, and I chose to follow the one that beats, not the one that counts. You see, when I first met this person, this beautiful, incredible, extraordinary human being, I didn't see a number. I didn't see wrinkles. I didn't see gray hair. I didn't see an age gap. You know what I saw? I saw a home. I saw peace. I saw a pair of eyes that looked at me like I was the only person in the entire universe who mattered. And you want me to walk away from that because of a number? Let me tell you something that nobody wants to hear. Age is nothing but a measurement of time. It measures how long you've been breathing, but it does not measure how deeply you can love. It does not measure how beautifully you can care. It does not measure the warmth in someone's hands when they hold yours on. A cold night, Hook, they measured the gap between our ages, but they forgot to measure the gap between their minds and their hearts. Now, let me tell you what it's actually like to love someone older than you. Because people talk a lot, people gossip a lot, but very few people actually know what it feels like. When you love someone older, you love someone who has already seen storms. They've already been through hurricanes. They've already felt the pain of betrayal, the sting of failure, the weight of responsibility. And because of all that, because of every single scar in their soul, they know exactly how precious love is. They don't play games. They don't send confusing texts. They don't leave you on read for 3 days just to seem cool. They don't keep you guessing. When they love you with everything they have, with every broken piece they glued back together, with every lesson life has taught them. Hook, young love is fire. It burns bright and sometimes burns out. But loving someone older, that's a flame that knows how to keep itself alive, even in the wind, even in the rain, even when the whole world is trying to blow it out. When someone older holds your hand, they hold it like they know how rare it is to find someone worth holding. When someone older looks into your eyes, they look at you like they've searched their whole life for exactly this moment. When someone older says, I love you, they don't say it casually. They say it like it's a promise, like it's a prayer, like it's the most sacred sentence their lips have ever spoken. And you want me to give that up for what? So society can pat me on the back and say, good job, you chose someone your own age. No, absolutely not. You know what nobody tells you about being with someone older? And the conversations. Oh, the conversations. When you're with someone who has lived more years than you, they carry a library inside their chest. They carry stories you've never heard. They carry wisdom you've never imagined. They carry perspectives that open your mind like windows you didn't even know existed. They tell you about a time before your time. They tell you about mistakes they made so you don't have to make them. They tell you about heartbreaks that taught them what love really means. And when they listen to you, when you share your young, wild, sometimes confused thoughts, they don't laugh at you. They don't dismiss you. They lean in. They listen. They understand because they remember being exactly where you are. Hook, with someone my age, I had conversations. With someone older, I had revelations. There's a depth to being loved by someone who has already walked roads you haven't walked yet. There's a comfort in knowing that the person beside you isn't just guessing. They know what matters and what doesn't. They know that arguments at 2 a.m. about silly things are not worth losing each other over. They know that ego is the enemy of every relationship. They know that love is not about winning. It's about choosing each other every single day, especially on the days when it's hard. They didn't just love me. They taught me how to love. And that, my friends, is the greatest gift anyone has ever given me. Now, I want to speak directly to those who judge, to those who whisper behind our backs, to those who raise their eyebrows, to those who shake their heads, to those who think they have the right to decide who deserves whose love. I want to say this with all the respect in the world, but also with all the honesty in my heart. You don't know our story. You don't know the nights we stayed up talking until the sun came up. You don't know the sacrifices we've made for each other. You don't know the tears we've cried together. You don't know the laughter that fills our home. You don't know how they make me feel safe in a world that has made me feel unsafe since I was a child. You don't know how I make them feel young again, how I remind them that life is still beautiful, still exciting, still full of surprises. Hook, you see two people with different ages, but we see two souls with the same heartbeat. And I'm sorry, but I will always trust my heartbeat over your opinion. Let me give you some truth that might make you uncomfortable. Some of the most broken relationships in this world are between people of the same age, and some of the most toxic partnerships are between people who look perfect on paper. Age matching does not guarantee happiness. Compatibility doesn't come from a birth certificate. It comes from the heart. It comes from respect. It comes from effort. It comes from two people who are willing to fight for each other even when the whole world is fighting against them. Matching ages didn't save a million marriages that fell apart, but matching hearts, that's what keeps love alive. Now let me take a moment to speak directly to you, to the person who holds my heart, to the one everyone has an opinion about, to the one I chose, to the one who chose me. My love, yes, you're older than me, and I know that sometimes it bothers you. I know that sometimes you look in the mirror and wonder if you're enough for me. I know that sometimes you hear the whispers and they hurt you more than you let on. I know that sometimes you think about letting me go so I can find someone more suitable. But let me tell you something, and I want you to hear this with every cell in your body. There's no one more suitable for me than you. Hook, you're not too old for me. The world is too small to understand us. You know why I chose you? Not because of your age, not despite your age. I chose you because when you walk into a room, my heart does something it has never done for anyone else. I chose you because your voice is the only sound that can calm the chaos in my head. I chose you because your arms are the only place in this entire universe where I feel completely, absolutely, unconditionally safe. I chose you because you didn't just fall in love with the best version of me. You fell in love with the messy version, the broken version, the confused version, the scared version. You saw all of me. Every flaw, every fear, every insecurity, and you still said, I want this one. This one is mine. You didn't complete me. You accepted me. And in a world full of people trying to change each other, your acceptance was the most revolutionary act of love I've ever experienced. Let us not forget, the history is full of love stories where age was just a footnote. Love between souls that were years apart has produced some of the most beautiful chapters in human history. Because love, real, raw, unfiltered love, does not operate on human timelines. Love operates on a divine frequency. It follows a plan that is bigger than our small, limited understanding. When God created love, He didn't put an asterisk that said terms and conditions apply, must be same age. When God designed the human heart, he didn't install a filter that said reject anyone born before 1990. God made love borderless, timeless, ageless, limitless. Hook. If God didn't put an age limit on love, then who are you to put one? Think about it. The sun doesn't ask the moon how old it is before lighting up the same sky together. The ocean doesn't ask the shore how many years it's been standing before crashing its waves against it. Nature doesn't discriminate. Nature doesn't judge. Nature simply loves freely, wildly, beautifully. And we are part of nature. We are part of this universe. So why are we trying to cage something that was always meant to be free, and love was born before time existed? So how can time ever define love? I won't lie to you. Loving someone older in a world like this, it takes courage. It takes strength that most people will never understand. Every day you wake up and choose your love over the noise. Every day you look at your partner and remind yourself why you chose them. Not because you need reminding, but because the world keeps trying to make you forget. You endure looks, you endure questions, you endure unsolicited advice from people who can barely manage their own lives but somehow feel qualified to manage yours. You endure family pressure, social pressure, peer pressure, and through all of it, you hold your partner's hand a little tighter. They called our love weak because it didn't follow their rules. But any love that survives the judgment of the entire world, that's not weak. That's the strongest love there is. So here I am, standing in front of you, not ashamed, not apologetic, not hiding. I am in love with someone older than me, and I have never, not for a single second, regretted it. This person has given me a love so deep that the ocean would be jealous. A love so warm that the sun would step aside. A love so strong that no amount of judgment, no amount of criticism, no amount of whispers in the dark could ever shake it. I didn't fall in love with an age. I fell in love with a soul. I didn't fall in love with a number. I fell in love with a feeling. I didn't fall in love with what society approved of. I fell in love with what my heart recognized. Hook. My heart didn't ask for their birth here. My heart asked for their love. And the answer it received was the most beautiful yes I've ever known. To everyone listening, love who your heart loves. Don't let anyone tell you that your love is wrong because of something as meaningless as a number. Numbers belong in mathematics. They don't belong in matters of the heart. And to my love, my beautiful, incredible, extraordinary love, thank you. Thank you for being brave enough to love me back. Thank you for not letting the age gap become a wall between us. Thank you for showing me that real love doesn't come with conditions. It comes with commitment. Closing hook. They said we don't match. They said the math doesn't add up. But here's what they don't understand. Love was never about mathematics. Love is about magic. And what we have is the most magical thing this world has ever seen. My love, you're older than me, but my heart still chose you. My heart always chooses you. And if I had 1,000 lifetimes, I would choose you in every single one.